Hello. Yes, I have audio. Is that better? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Right, second attempt. Let's have a play at Final Girl. Season 2. I only have 2 of the Final Girl Season 2 feature films. Well, 2 Final Girl feature films, full stop. I have, I can't remember what the actual boxes are called. Basically, I've got the Alien one and I've got the Thing one. But what I'm doing today, I am following in the feature film rulebook where they set out scenarios. I'm setting out, not the rulebook, in fact, the law and scenario book. That would be the one. That one. Where they give you a bit of lore on each of the killers. I'm off camera on killers. And then give you a scenario. So rather than being the total randomness that it usually is, it actually gives you some setup to follow. So I am playing Uki. Apologies for the glare. She only needs to rescue 4 victims to trigger her special ability. Her special ability is once per turn you can play a copy of the guard card as though it was in your hand, and if you've not played Final Girl before, I'll explain what that means in a minuet. Instead of having a random setup card, it is one called Clear the Ground. So I've already laid all the victims out, and I'm, for the purposes of this overhead camera, I'm lying the victims down rather than standing them up so you can actually sort of see them. I am the Final Girl, Uki. I'm starting here in the radio room, as per the setup card, and the killer, which is the Evomorph, starts here. The item decks are set up as normal, so this is the set of items at the supply closet, which is here, the tool shed, which is here, and the commander's hut, which is here. In terms of the terror deck, it was 4 random cards from the station set and 6 specific cards from the Evomorph set. So it's the minor dark power of Dead Silence, Toying with the Prey, Skull Burster, Acid Spray, and 2 copies of It Wouldn't Be an Aliens Game Without This Quote, Game Over Man, Game Over. The dark power that has been set for the Evomorph is Razor Claws, and the finale is Blitz of Death. So the dark power will get revealed when the Evomorph evolves to a certain point. The finale card will be revealed when we run out of terror cards. So that is when the alien really does get to full strength. Okay, so if you've not seen this game before, Final Girl is based on the horror film trope of by the end of the horror film there is just the final girl left, be it Nancy in Nightmare on Elm Street or Ripley in Alien, and it's basically just her against the killer, the monster, the alien. So that is the principle. It is a solo-only board game. So in principle, as I said, that's me. I've got to move around, try and rescue these victims, the yellow characters. Each turn you have a certain amount of time represented by this blue marker here, which you can then use to plan your next turn's actions by buying these various different action cards. Some of the actions you take will cost you time, which gives you less time to buy cards for the next round, and so on. So sometimes it's wise to conserve time to try and either save the cards in your hand or make sure you can buy the actions you want to use on the next turn. In terms of the rest of the layout, as part of the Station 2891 setup, you start with a 2-way radio in your hand, which can be used 4 times, and you can use that to move a victim at 1 space at the cost of 1 time, and you can't use it on the same victim more than once in a turn. The alien starts off as, I forgot what the term is, he's a hatchling. So we've got this marker here to track the progress of the alien as it evolves. I'm saying a lot, aren't I? And I'm conscious I'm a little bit off camera and it's showing off my ripped wallpaper in the background, which is lovely. Okay. There you go. I'm erming a lot. Usually what the pattern is, you play your actions, you buy new actions, the killer then does its thing. Any victims who are in the same space as the killer, if a victim died, panic, so they sort of use the dice to run them around a little bit. And then if you run out of terror cards, you reveal the finale. We have Uki, who starts with 6 health, so it's 5 health and 1 final health token. The Evomorph starts with 4, but he will get 10 when he evolves. So again, that's 3 and the final health token. And the other unique thing about this game is this final health token may have some bonus health on the back. It may not. So in typical horror film fashion, the monster can suddenly come back when you thought you'd killed him, or the final girl has a sudden burst of life and springs back into action when you thought she was dead, etc., etc. The thing to note about the alien is when it evolves to the youngling phase. So basically, let's as soon as the alien kills a victim, he will move up this track and he will evolve straight away. So as soon as he evolves, he will become a hatchling and he will disappear off into the vents. So he will leave the map. So one of the extra actions that the Evomorph set adds is this ability to scan to see is the youngling in your own location or not. While he's off the map, instead of drawing terror cards, you will draw these ambush cards instead. So there's a chance that he could spring into the level the room you're in and attack you where you're standing, or drag a victim off screaming to their death, etc., etc. The other unique layout, the functionality of this layout of the station, usually on the game of Final Girl, you will collect up your victims and take them to the exit, and then they are rescued. Simple as that. It's a little bit of an extra task here is that you have to take them to the helicopter landing pad. Then the helicopter has got to fly to the airport and then back again before you can rescue anybody else. Another extra thing is while you are outside, some of these terror cards will inflict frostbite. So you would get a little frostbite token added to your character. And then if next time there is a frostbite token reveal, a frostbite action revealed, if you are not inside, you will take damage. So basically, if you stay exposed to the elements outside and in the Arctic, you're going to get hurt. So I think that is enough of the overview. As part of this predefined setup as well, we have our randomized event deck, but the starting event is there's been an accident in the lab, which means we add this token here. So normally the only way into the lab is from inside, but now there's a nice big gaping hole in the wall and we can get into the lab from outside. Right, let me get rid of that spam if I can. No, it's not. I can't see what I'm doing. No. No, come back to that later. Right. There must be a way I can just get rid of that. Banned. See a gory office holder. I don't want you to spam me. Right, okay, let's go. I've set up my little sort of Excel action tracker down here, which if anyone who follows me when I do an Arkham Horror stream, I use that to try and remember where I am in the game. I used to. There is actually a guide here on the Final Girl board. The only other thing I haven't mentioned is there is this horror tracker. that works its way up or down. It starts at 4 when you're playing against the Evomorph, and basically where it is on that track determines how many dice you roll for your action. So if the horror is low, you get to roll 3 dice. If the horror is high, you only get to roll 1. And the way these dice work is 2 of the sides, the 5 and the 6, are a star, which mean a success. 2 of the sides are 2 cards, which means you can discard 2 cards for a success, and the other 2 sides are blank. So basically, 1 in 3 chance of rolling a success on 1 dice, or a 2 in 3 if you're willing to throw some cards away. So, shall we do this? Shall we take Uki around station 2891 to try and destroy the Evomorph? Now, this is the first time I've mixed up sets. I've only ever played the Evomorph on the USS Conrad, and the USS Conrad, which is the final version of the Nostromo, has multiple ways of killing the Evomorph. You can blast it into space out of an airlock. You can start the self-destruct system of the spaceship. You can set the furnace to burn anyone who walks in that room, and there's a trash compactor as well. We don't have such toys on the station, so it's going to be a case of I have to hit him really hard. The only other special rule before I forget, and I will forget while we're playing, is that the Evomorph is immune to frostbite. So if I take him outside, I'll be the one getting hurt, not him. Okay. So let's start. In your first turn, you always start off with these 0 cost cards in hand. So they've all got the gold 0 time icon in the corner, so it doesn't cost you anything to buy them. So I have 2 walks, I have a weak attack, a focus, well, 2 focuses, and a short rest. So the first thing I'm going to do is focus. The idea being that if I roll successes, I can start bringing this horror down, because I want to try and get it down to this 3 dice marker, so that I'm getting a better chance for the to roll successes on the ones that matter. So I rolled 1 success, so that lets me reduce horror by 1 at the cost of 1 time. Okay, I'm going to focus again. And that is a complete failure. Okay, for complete failure cost me 2 time. So as you can see now, I've only got 3 time to spend on actions for my next turn. So I'm going to get to the point in a moment where I probably am best keeping some cards in hand. I'm going to do a walk. That's 1 success, and I could commit 2 cards to make it 2 successes to let me move 2 spaces. So I am here. I think I'm just going to take the single success, and I'm going to move down here into this next room where I am now with a victim. The victims will automatically follow you unless you happen to be walking into a room with the killer, in which case they're scared stiff and they won't follow you. So the idea is you can sort of have 2 victims following you. No, I wasn't talking to Siri. I would basically want to try and get 2 victims to the helicopter, so the helicopter can then fly off and well, save them. And if I save 4 victims, I get Uki's bonus ability, which lets me use a free guard action each turn. Right, I'm not going to do anything else. So I will move on to the planning phase, where I can now buy action cards. I have 3 time to spend. So I will buy, I am thinking I will buy a sprint for 2, so I could hopefully get all the way to the maximum sprint is 3 spaces. I could go 1, 2, 3, and then I think I kept the second walk, didn't I? And then maybe 4 to get a couple of people to the helicopter. So that cost me 2. I have 1 left to spend. There is only one. Well, I could buy a scan and I could buy fly faster, which is the main way of getting the helicopter to the to its base. I'll probably buy the helicopter on my next turn. Actually, no. No, I'll buy the helicopter. I won't buy the scan yet because the alien has not disappeared, so I'll buy the helicopter, fly faster for 1. So, reset time, back to 6. We turn the cards I've played to the tableau. And now we do the killer action. So the killer is here, and the killer's action is head for the nearest victim, move once, and its current move is 1, and then attack once, and its current attack is 10. So it is literally going to move in here, kill that victim, which pushes the... Every time a victim dies, the bloodlust tracker goes up. And as soon as the bloodlust tracker goes up to there, it evolves. So upon evolving, it disappears into the vents. And then you put him on top of the terror deck there to remind you not to draw terror cards. And from now on, this tracker goes up anytime. Well, this tracker should go up anytime a victim dies. While he is the hatchling, it only goes up if it's the hatchling that kills the victim rather than some unfortunate circumstance. Okay, so that's a good start, not a good start. Because basically, well, he's still only 4 health, so that is something. And now I'm thinking I should have got a scan card. Still, we'll see. But anyway, as soon as the killer vanishes, that is the end of the killer phase. So we don't draw. I think I've got that right. Yeah, whenever you see this icon, the Evomorph immediately disappears, ending the killer phase. So yeah, so we don't draw any cards this round. So no terror card. Panic victims. No victims were in the space where the killer killed a victim, and he's gone anyway, so that even if there was another victim there, it wouldn't panic. We don't reveal the finale card. We don't need to rearrange any items, and now we're back to my go. So I now have basically the cards I had left plus the sprint and the fly faster that I bought last time. So I am going to... I mean, ideally I could still want to get that down, but I don't have the focus cards anymore. I'm thinking I probably, if I'm not too successful on my running and walking, I will save as much time as possible to get some of those cards next turn. Okay, so let's do a walk. I always want to sing Dire Straits whenever I say that. I hate Dire Straits. Right, that's a single success. So I can move up to 1 space. So I'll move here into this corridor. This corridor is marked with a moon icon, so it's use these just because there's not much space to put the characters all in the corridor. They're very narrow on the board. So I move up to 1 space and it costs me 1 time. Then I will try a sprint. And that is really bad. So on a fail, I could move a space but lose a health and 2 time and immediately end my turn. Or I could just lose a health and 2 time. Or I can spend 2 cards to treat it as a success. So I'm going to ditch the weak attack and the short rest, keeping the fly faster, to treat it as a single success. So I can move 2 spaces. So I move here. I'm going to pick up one of those victims as I go. And we move in here. So I'm now here with 3 victims. Only 2 of them will follow me. But that's where I am anyway. Okay, so that's that. I'm not going to do anything else because the only card I've got left is the helicopter flying faster. No one's in the helicopter yet. So I've got 5 cards to spend now. I'm going to buy a scan card for 1. I'm going to buy a distraction for 3 to try and really get that get the horror down. So that's 4 spent. 1 left to spend. Do I want the scan? Do I want the scan? I suppose I ought to have the scan. What am I going to be getting out of the 3 cards? A walk and 2 focus. So if I've got 2 focus, maybe I don't need the distraction. Although the distraction will gain me time if it's successful. No, let's stick with that. So I've got 1 left to spend. I'll take a close call because that's spent 3, 4, 5. That's the 5 there. Reset time. Return played cards. So they're the cards I've just bought. These are the cards I played last time. So 2 zeros and a sprint. Killer action. Right, so now that the killer has vanished, we reveal an ambush card, and these are double purpose depending on whether it's at the youngling stage or the adult stage. The number at the top tells you how bad that card is. So this is a 3, so it's one of the lighter ones. So it's simply the bloodlust tracker goes up by 1. I can live with that. Okay, that's what we do instead of a terror card. There is no killer action because the killer wasn't there. There's no victims to panic. We don't need to reveal the finale or rearrange items. So we're back to me playing actions. Okay, so first thing I am going to do is try and cause a distraction. Oh, really? So I'm going to use close call. I'm going to spend 2 times, to re-roll all dice in the hope that I get at least 1 success out of that. 1 success. So 1 success is I drop horror by 1 and I gain 1 time. So that's not too bad, I suppose. I didn't take the 0 cards back, did I, that I was supposed to be getting? It was the 2 focuses and the walk, wasn't it? Those 3 are what? Idiot. Right. So now I will do another focus. I want to get that down to level 1. Come on, give me a star. You've given me a star. Excellent. So focus, 1 success is lose 1 time, lose 1 horror. So I now have 3 dice to play with. I am going to use my 2-way radio once to make one of these walk over to the helicopter for 1 time. I'm going to do a walk to hopefully take these 2 victims into the helicopter as well, because the helicopter can take 3. This is awful. I need a walk. I've got to commit 2. I've got to throw away 2 cards now, so it's going to have to be the scan and the focus, and then hopefully I can use the fly faster to get the helicopter on its way as well. Yeah, so I spend the scan and the focus to make that a single success, and a single success is move 1 space at the cost of 1 time. So now I have 3 people at the helicopter, and I'm just double checking the rules at what point they get into the helicopter. Let's look at the right page, that would help, wouldn't it? When the helicopter is there, you can freely move it and up to 3 people onto the helicopter card. Once the helicopter has victims on board, it cannot return. Yeah, so I can load those straight on to the helicopter. There we go. And the helicopter is currently at Arctic Station 2891. So I'm going to do the final action of fly faster. Let's try and get that helicopter to the airport. Oh, you are kidding me. That is abysmal. Hate this game. Hate it. And I'm now a little bit stuck on my next turn because, as you can see, I've only got 2 time left. I've spent all of the cards in my hand. And I'm only going to get a walk, a short rest, and a weak attack. Never mind. So, we buy cards. I have 2 time to spend. I probably ought to buy a scan for 1. I am I'm 3 away from the tool shed, and I'm 3 away from the commander's hut, so there's not much point in getting a search at this point. I've got 2 time left to spend. Let's get a sprint, try and get back inside, get some more victims back to this airport, this landing pad by the time the helicopter comes back, I think. So I've got there what I've bought, and I get the free 0 cards, and then I put these back. Okay. Reset time back to 6. Return the play card. Killer action. It's another ambush. Make a horror roll. So 1 success is no effect. 2 successes would have been I could place a scan marker in the nearest space without one. So basically it would have been a free scan. Okay. No effect. I'll leave it at no effect rather than throwing my cards away to get a free scan, I think. I think what I'm best doing is do some moving, and when I've done all my moving, then do a scan in the hope that that confirms that my location is not one with an alien. I mean, it always will. A scan always does confirm that the alien isn't at your location. It just means you're guaranteeing that the alien won't spawn in your spot. Look at this, I've been playing half an hour already and I haven't done anything. Well, I say I haven't done anything. I've loaded 3 people onto the... I think I need to trim down the steps on that action tracker. Right, okay, let's... Do I get as many people here to save? I really only need to save 1 more person to trigger my ability. Let's do a walk. Wow, wow, triple success. Why can't I roll that when it matters? There's only one card where a triple success matters, and that is the scan. That would be place the Evomorph in your space and skip the next killer phase. Remove this card from the game. So actually, I was wrong. A scan can reveal the alien. Okay, so double success. I can move up to 2 spaces. I'm thinking I move there and back again, so I'm taking 2 people to the landing pad. So I'm going to do that. Move up, move straight back down again. At the cost of 1 time. Okay. Then I think I am going to sprint indoors. Whoops. I'll try not to throw the dice on the floor, but fail. 1 success. Move up to 2 spaces at the cost of 1 time. So I will go... Oh, should I just go straight into the lab? Because there is that hole in the wall, which I kind of forgot about. Thinking we don't know where the alien is at the moment. Or do I do a 2? Or do I discard a couple of cards to make it a triple space? And get into the tool shed, ready for next turn, where I could maybe do a search. And in the tool shed is a knife. Mind you, in the supply closet is a flamethrower. And flamethrowers are objectively better than knives. No, I think I'm just going to run into the lab. 2 spaces. 1, 2. At the cost of 1 time. I have left a short rest and a weak attack, so I'm going to do a scan. And this is where I roll the 3 stars again, isn't it? No, it's not. Okay, so I place a single X in my location, so we know the alien will not be appearing here when he turns up, and I lose a time. And I'm going to finish there, I think. Yeah. Right, buy cards. I've got 3 time to spend. I will buy... I mean, obviously I get these freebies. Mustn't forget that. I'm going to buy a scan for 1. I don't have any weapons, so I'm only going to be doing single punches to the alien. What does it say? I've got 3 to spend. I think I might take a guard just to be on the safe side. Or shall I? 2 to 2? No, let's take another sprint. Let's get running around the place. Okay. Reset time, back to 6, and the bought cards go back, or the used cards go back, should I say. So that was 1 scan, 1 sprint, and 1 walk. Killer action. It's another ambush. You've discovered shed skin. Place an X in the closest space to you without an X. So I'm guessing I get to choose. Part of me thinks it would be most useful being the corridor. Don't really know though. Yeah, I'm going to say the corridor. The problem is, while these terror cards aren't coming out, some of these terror cards have helicopter move on them. I should have bought a helicopter move, shouldn't I? Shall we say I did that? Instead of another scan, we buy a fly faster. I think that makes sense because I need to get those people rescued. So I'm going to say I did that. A little bit of retrofitting there. Okay, so we don't have a terror card. We don't have any panic. Nothing. No, we don't reveal the finale. And we don't need to rearrange anything. So we're back to the play phase. I'm tempted to just get another focus down to get this down to its absolute minimum level. There we go. One success. Lose a horror. Lose a time. And then when these cards start increasing horror, it gives me a little bit of leeway. The way this works as well is if I decrease horror again, because there's no space to move to, you probably can't quite make it out. There's an increased time icon there, so it gives you more time. I guess you're a bit chilled about things are going to be. Right, I am going to try and get that helicopter moving now. Fly faster, you fools! There, 2 stars. So that's 2 helicopter moves. Oh, it knocks all of the cards over. So the helicopter boom boom is now back at the Arctic airport. These 3 victims are saved. So when you save victims, you place them on these things here. So one of them lets me get health. I can't heal past my maximum anyway, and I've not taken any damage, so there's no point in doing that one. So I'll put one on that one, which lets me move 1 space. I will move into the corridor. I'll put one on that one, which lets me take a Furious Strike card. Always handy. And I'll place that one there, which gives me 2 time. Nice. But I can't save any more people until that helicopter comes back. So where do I want to go now? What do I want to do? I don't have a scan because I made that retroactive decision to get rid of the scan, or not to take the scan. I'm in this corridor here. I'm thinking I go to the supply closet to get myself a flamethrower. So we do the walk. We do the walk of life. We do not do the walk of life, but I can discard 2 cards. So if I discard short rest because I don't need to heal, and I discard focus because I don't need to save the reduce horror, to give myself 1, so I can move up to 1 space. So that puts me here in the closet, well, not the closet, next to the closet with a victim. But it cost me 1 time. But I'm back to the 6 I started with. And then I have left weak attack, sprint, and furious strikes. So obviously the weak attack and the strike are no good because there's no one to fight. I could sprint into the supply closet, but it kind of feels like a waste, so I think I'm going to just finish there. Right, so I have now 6 to spend on. So I'm definitely going to buy a search for 2, which leaves me 4. So after the 4s, there's a planning, which lets you basically have extra dice for your next roll. Distraction, guard. Improvise for 3 lets you treat the 3s and 4s as successes on your next roll or until the end of the turn, depending on when you do it. I'm wondering whether to get a second search card and get, mind you, as soon as I get that flamethrower, I have to lose the radio. Because it says on the flamethrower, this must be kept in your hands and you may not have any items in your backpack. It may be used once per action phase to deal damage equal to half the killer's current health rounded down, or to kill all minions in your space. Well, there are no minions on this level. What else have we got? In the commander's hut is a dog. When an enemy enters your space, deal damage to it. The next time you take damage, ignore it and discard this card instead. The ally is not considered to be in your backpack, but the card may be kept there. And then in the tool shed is a knife. Right. What do I do? What do I buy? I've got 4 to spend. Cold coffee. Four to spend. So I will buy. I might buy that second search, you know, because if you roll a double success, you can take the top 2 cards, choose one, and put the other one back. So there might be something useful under the flamethrower, so I'm not necessarily committing myself to taking the flamethrower. So that cost me another 2 time. Did I have the sprint? I did. Yeah. I'm going to get a walk next turn anyway. So I've got 2 left. I could buy another sprint. I could buy another guard. I might take both of the close calls actually, because the dice have been really bad to me. So that's all of my spending done. I get me freebie. Reset time back to 6. Return the cards I've just played. So that's my hand for my next turn. And returning back are 4 gold cards and 1 fly faster. We need that helicopter back. So that's another thing about this game. You can't keep taking the same type of actions. They cycle in and out depending on when you use them. Okie dokie. Killer action. Oh, what's going on? I put the killer there. I've got no idea why I put. I think I picked that up from there, thinking I was picking me up from there. Yeah. So the killer is still disappeared. So we draw another ambush, and I think it's going to be a high number this time, isn't it? We get 8. Move the bloodlust marker up on the track to the next space with the evolve effect in the special effect column. Now it gets bad. Evolve. When you evolve, it means you're now an adult. Max health increases to 10. So we need to add 6 health tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He recovers all health. Well, he wasn't injured anyway. And I reveal the Dark Power card, which is, as the setup said, Razor Claws. When revealed, place the Evomorph in the closest space to you without an X. That is the one I'm in. And remove all the X's. And then whenever the Evomorph damages you, randomly discard an action card. Don't like that. Okay, so that was the ambush. So we don't draw a terror card because the terror card is when the killer's not in play, but the killer is in play now. Let's just double check that. Yeah, it says, while it has vanished, you will ignore all steps of the killer phase. So I think the ambush was bad enough. We don't draw a terror as well. And the ambush card it comes after the killer action, so he's not going to attack. Panic victims, no one's died. We don't need to reveal the finale yet. I don't need to rearrange any of my items, so now we get back playing. Okay, so I've got a weak attack and I've got a furious attack. I've got close call. I've got 2 searchers. I think I get some attacks done, so let's do a furious strike. We want 2 stars, please. Oh, 3 stars. Don't get anything for the bonus, but that is 2 damage to the alien. And we reduce horror. We can't reduce horror any further, so we gain a time. And the flavour text there is bitch. Who you calling a bitch? You want a bitch? I'll show you a bitch. Then I'm going to do a weak attack. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do a weak attack. Unless I discard 2. Well, let's pay 2 time to re-roll all 3 of those. Oh, you are kidding me. Do I want to ditch anything? Do I do another close call? This seems a bit of a waste. To do 1 damage. Or potentially 1 damage and be hurt. So no, I'm going to walk. Now, first of all, I'm going to use the 2-way radio to send that victim out into the hallway. I'm also going to use the 2-way radio to send that victim 1 space closer to the helicopter. And I'm going to do it again. Use another 2-way radio to move that victim 1 space closer to the helicopter. That 2-way radio is now all spent and gone. So I can now pick up the flamethrower, providing I can get it, without any penalties. We walk. We do not walk. Unbleeping leavable. Close call. Spend 2 horror to roll 2 time to roll all 3 again. We have a single success. Move up to 1 space. I move into the supply closet. I now search the supply closet. One success. Take the top item at your space. I could discard 2 cards. I only have 2 left. Let's take the flamethrower. It is now in both of my hands. I can use it twice. May be used once per action to deal damage equal to half the killer's current health rounded down. It's only got a range of 0. So I've had other flamethrowers on other levels that had a range of 0 to 1. So I could have blasted the flamethrower out of there, but not this time. So if I want to fight him, I've got to go back out there. Half of his health rounded down to 1, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, it's on 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll be doing 4 damage to him. Then if I do it again, his damage is then only, his health is only 4, so I'd only be doing 2 damage to him. Because it's half the current health, not half their limit. I've got a sprint card. He can currently move 2. So I need to run away from him, I think. So I'm going to sprint. With the idea being I get a distance away from him. Or her. No, I don't. I don't get anywhere, look. So as a failed action, I could move 1 space, which would put me into his location. Lose 2 time and end my turn. But then I don't get to do the flamethrower. His attack is currently 2 damage, so he will hit me for 2 on this next turn most likely, because he will move. Mind you, the killer's attack there is to move to the nearest victim, not to move towards me. So actually he will move away from me. He's going to move out here into the corridor to kill that girl. Well, I don't think I can't do anything else anyway. I'm in the wrong space. I don't have cards to throw away. So that's that. Buy cards. I have 3 to spend. I think it will be worth buying a guard just in case, maybe. Definitely buy a sprint for 2. And there are no 1-cost cards apart from I'll buy Fly Faster to get that helicopter back. Scan it, don't need any more. Get these free cards. These cards go back. So that was a Furious Strike, Sprint, a Search, Close Call, Weak Attack. Reset time back to 6. Killer action. So move once towards the nearest victim. The nearest victim is out here in the corridor. Do an attack. Attack is 2. Victim dies. When the victim dies, the bloodless level goes up. So now he does 3 attack. Then we reveal a terror card. Now the fun begins. Toying with the prey. If the Evomorph is a hatchling, it is not. Otherwise, now he moves twice towards the final girl. And his move is 2. So he can move 4 spaces towards me. So it's there. Right, so he's now in the same location as me. If the Evomorph is in your space, during the next action phase, roll 1 fewer dice for all horror rolls to a minimum of 1. So now I'm running with 2 dice just for this turn, and then he vanishes. That is interesting. Okay. I'm not doing any flamethrower in then, am I? Right, no victims to panic, no finale to reveal, no rearranging. Let's get playing. So, no point in searching the cupboard for another item because I would have to drop the flamethrower. I don't know where the monster is. I've not been hurt yet, have I? No. Well, let's get the helicopter moving, hopefully. Get the helicopter back. No, we are not getting the helicopter back. Let's discard a short rest and a focus to turn that into a success. So the helicopter moves once and we lose 1 time. Then probably should have bought a scan, shouldn't I? But then again, I didn't know he was going to disappear. No, I did know he was going to disappear. I knew he had already gone, but never mind, it's too late now. Shall we do a focus to hopefully earn ourselves some more time? No. I can't roll dice. I cannot roll dice. So where do I want to go? I guess I probably need to head to where there are more victims. I think. So let's sprint. We know we're not sprinting, don't we? We blooming are. Right, move up to 3 spaces for the cost of 1 time. So I'll go out into the corridor here, out into the corridor here, and into the rec room. I did move the time, didn't I? Then I will do a walk. No, I think I'm going to stay here. Oh, but if he pops out here, no, I'm staying here. I'm going to keep those 2 cards in hand for the next turn. Right, I've got 4 to spend, so part of me thinks I go for a retaliate. Spend all 4 on a retaliate, get those freebies. These go back. So another sprint. I should have got a scan, shouldn't I? Never mind. And fly faster. Reset time back to 6. Return played card, just done that. Killer action is going to be an ambush. Oh, this should be rotated now because he's now an adult. And we get number 3, horror increases. That's all. Right. I'm back at having 3 dice now because that was just for 1 turn only. Nobody to panic. Finale does not reveal. I don't need to rearrange anything. Let's get playing. Okay. I've got 2 walks and a search. Search is no good to me at the moment. The attack and the retaliate were just in case the alien turned up. So I need to try and get some of these people to the landing pad. So let's do a walk. 2 successors move up to 2 spaces. So that's me and these 2 go 1, 2. So we are now out here. I think we've been a bit lucky with the old frostbite this round. Then I'm going to walk again. No, I'm not. I'm not going to walk again. Unless I want to discard something, and I don't because I need those attacks. I could, yeah. Okay, that's me done. Did the walk, oh, the walk failed. I either lose 2 time, or I can move a space, lose a health, and 2 time. I didn't lose the time for moving 2 spaces there. So now I'm not going to lose a health, I'm just going to lose 2 time and stay put. That's the end of my turn. Buy cards, I have 3 to buy. I will buy Fly Faster. That's 1. I will buy a Scan. That's 2. And I'll buy a Close Call. That's 3. I get these freebies back. And then these go back into the pool. They're both freebies for the next turn. Yeah, reset time. Return play cards. Killer action. So it's ambush time. Level 1. Oh, gain 2 time. That is odd. I'm not used to it doing nice things. That is number 1 though. That is the easiest of all of the ambush cards. No panic needs to happen. No finale or rearranging. Right. Play our action cards. I've got no movement cards. Like an idiot. Like an idiot. So let's try and get the helicopter back. We have 1 star. That moves the helicopter once, so the helicopter is back at the landing pad. I will load on 2 more people there. Do I not have any moves at all? I thought I'd kept a sprint back, but obviously not. No, I failed on it on the last turn, didn't I? Grr, arg. Okay, let's... I suppose I'll do a scan. One success. Place an X in your space. Lose time. I guess I'll do a focus. Get that horror down to minimum. 1 star, lose horror, lose 1 time. I guess I'll do another focus in the hope that I'll just actually get a load of time back. I'll get nothing back. Unless I paid... pointless. 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 End of my turn. I have 6 to spend. Do I go for a critical blow? I have the flamethrower as well. Yeah, I'm going for the critical blow in the hope that the alien turns on. I'm spending all my 6 points on that. So, get the freebies. Reset back to 6, which it already is. And put these back, so fly faster. 2 golds and a scan. Killer action, it's ambush time. We get number 7. Place the Evomorph in the closest space to you without an X and remove all X's. The closest space to me without an X, so it's either going to be in the hut, in the corridor, or there. So I think when you... What do the rules say about closest? Do I choose the worst or the best? I would suspect if I'm choosing it for the alien, it would be what is worse for me. What does it say about ties, tiebreakers, 20 and 31? What did I say? Ties and tiebreakers, 20, 30 or 20. If there's a tie between who's closest, choose the group that has the most victims. If it's still a tie, choose game ambiguity on page 31. So the rule of infinite evil, resolve it in a way that is worst for you. The rule of abject realism, resolve it in a way that results in the most realistic or thematic outcome. Or the rule of never-ending hilarity, resolve it in the way that results in the funniest eye. So would it be, what would make most sense? For the killer to appear, for the alien to appear in the hut? I think it probably makes most sense game-wise for it to appear here between me and the landing pad. So if the finale has been revealed, it has not. If not, immediately draw the next terror card. Okay. Whew. What supplies are in the chopper? If the helicopter is at station 2891 and you are in an outdoor space, the helicopter is at station 2891 and I am in an outdoor space, you may take 2 random items from the ones that are out of play. Well, I know I did put the 2-way radio on the top there, so I guess I need to shuffle. In fact, how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6. Let's roll a dice. Counting down from the top. Number 2. There we go. Take the second card. It is an axe. But I've got a flamethrower, so I don't want an axe. That kind of pointless. Then we draw an event. Someone pulled the fire alarm. You and all victims in the main building panic. There's only 1 victim in the main building, so let's panic him. 4. He moves that way out into the corridor. No one else is in the main building. Okay. Right. Oh, then frostbite. Oh, no, we've got a killer action first. It's going to move to me. It's going to target me and move towards me. then he's going to target me or a victim. And I think in that case, we choose the victim first when there is a choice there on killer targeting. 99% sure of that. If there's target whoever is closest, victim or final girl. If there is a tie, choose the group that has the most victims. The final girl is not classed as a victim. So, yeah, so he's moved towards me, and then he will attack the victim once. And his attack is 3. So he kills one victim, which increases the bloodlust, which increases the horror. Then we do frostbite. So everyone outside gets frostbite. But not the alien. And then the helicopter moves. Alright, so the helicopter takes off with these two on it. Exciting. So that was the terror. Yeah. Oh, there was a victim killed in that location there. So that victim there panics. Moves in direction number 5. So he or she runs back into the corridor. So much for me getting all of these victims out to the helicopter. Get to the job. Overused, I know. Right. It's time to kick ass. So the first thing I'm going to do, let's just advance the cycle. Yeah. I'm going to flamethrow the dude. Once per action phase to deal damage equal to half the killer's current health. So 1, 2, 3, 4 damage to the Evomorph. Where did that go? Then I'm going to do a critical blow. One. Discard 2 dice. Oh, I do have a close call though. Let's use a close call to re-roll that one. Ah! Discard 2 cards. I will discard a walk and a short rest to turn that one into a success. So now I've got 2 successes. That is 3 damage to the alien. And reduce horror. Holy moly, this is getting close. Now that the alien is on his final health, I get an extra dice. And then lastly, I'm going to try a weak attack. Actually, let me just double check. I've not missed any time. No, I did a double on that one. Spent all of those to ensure that it was a success. And now I'm doing a weak attack. All I need is two stars. There's 1 star. I am spending cards like there's no tomorrow. I'm spending that search and I'm spending that walk to turn that into a success. 2 stars. Take that last health. Is it going to reveal? No! I've killed him. There we go. Wow. That's only my 2nd ever proper success at Final Girl. I didn't take a single hit. So I don't know if these scenarios are technically easier than the pure random setup. But yes, we'll see. I really enjoyed that. I have successfully flamethrowed and punched and kicked an alien to death while at the Arctic Research Station, which was nice. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I hope that wasn't too painful with my indecisions, and hopefully there aren't too many misplays in there. Never even triggered Yuki's final ability, the helicopter. Will the helicopter have moved on the next one? No. The next one would have been, yeah, attacking me, making me discard an item, so that would have been nasty. I would have lost the flamethrower and not be able to kill him. But yeah, awesome. Really enjoyed that. Hope you did too. And we shall see you another time. Bye.